Hi guys, welcome back to another GGF video. Today we're going to be doing a quick unboxing on the brand new TT eSports Poseidon Z RGB mechanical keyboard. Now, this is to be released within about a 1 to 2 week period in Australia. So some really interesting things about this. This is the first RGB keyboard we've seen from TT eSports, or the first one I'm led to believe they're releasing. So if you're familiar with their Poseidon range, it keeps the same identical layout, very much the same as the original Poseidon Z, but it's going to have RGB. Now, it's not just RGB like full keyboard RGB where you got to either have all blue or green or whatnot. This is per key. You can do all the crazy stuff like the waves, multi-individual key lighting, things like that. So some of the other features we see here, this is the TT certified blue switch. So no doubt these will be the Kale switches. I'm pretty sure the KAILH. This isn't a cherry keyboard. This is recommended for up to 50 million keystrokes. So if you work that out, it's going to last forever. Now this is the blue switch one. So this is tactile and clicky, and it has a first industry 5-year warranty. Now that's pretty sweet to get that on a keyboard. You're probably going to upgrade before then, or something new and better is going to come out. So we won't spend too much time on the box. I actually haven't even used this yet. I've just received this, so this is an unboxing. I'll be testing this out for a few weeks, and I'll probably do another video after that. So I won't just read off the box. I might just get it out, and then I can go through some of the items that it's got sort of labeled on the box. I actually do like this new box layout. The red on the top and the bottom does look really nice. Now, the price tag on this, because it's not using cherry, TT eSports can bring this down to 149 Australian dollars. So if you're wondering what that is US, it's going to be even cheaper USD. Right, so all you get is you get this nice bubble wrap. You can keep that later on if you're transporting it around, and then you've just got the box, and that is it. All right, so first off, we'll have a look at this. We've got a quick little manual here going through some of the bits and pieces, like key features, hardware installation, pretty basic stuff. Like if you've used a keyboard before, you're not going to need this, and it's got it in other languages as well. And now we have the little warranty policy, which comes standard with all the TT eSports gear you get. All right, so this is it here. Now I'm really impressed that there's finally a keyboard that's out in RGB. It's a good price, and it's just a nice rectangle keyboard. I've used quite a few keyboards before that have fancy curved designs and absolutely humongous, but it's so nice to be able to get a nice refreshing looking keyboard like this that you can just throw in your bag. It's relatively small, and you've got all the RGB functions on it. All right, so what we might do is I'm going to plug this in. I don't even know what this is going to look like as soon as I plug it in. I can see along the top we've got some profile 1, or in this area we've got some profile 1 all the way to 5. We've got N key rollover, so that's pretty sweet. It's got that. I can also see we've got a macro. So I've been led to believe you don't need to install the software. You can do a lot of customization just by macro recording. That's pretty sweet. We've got your volume up and down and mute. And we've also got your standard multimedia keys as well. And another feature I like on some of the Poseidon range, actually all of the Poseidon ranges, is you get this little button here, push in, push down, and that will disable your Windows key. I prefer those rather than having to do like FN, something else to disable the Windows key. You can just press that. And these might light up, I'm not sure. What I'll do is I'll grab a laptop and I'll plug it in. So I've dimmed the lights a little bit just so we can actually see how this lights up. First of all, before I plug it in, we'll just have a look at the cable. So the cable, it's not sleeved. I'm not a huge fan of having fancy sleeve cables on keyboards. Like, you're just going to pay more. I'll say this is probably your standard 1.8 meters in length, so that's relatively long. You probably don't need it any longer. So we'll just plug that in now. Okay, now I've tried to configure my camera so we don't get any flickering. It should be okay. Now if we just have a look at that, so you can see straight away it's come off as a default as a red profile. Now what I'll do is we'll have a look at some of the, first of all we'll just go over to some of these P1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll see what they're configured as. So I'm assuming you just hit F1, P2, All right, so this just looks like your delayed tracer, which you see these days. The keyboards will go to P3. All right, so that seems to be the line. So wherever you type, it just does a horizontal line across. That's pretty sweet. P4. All right, so this one is just a constant wave. So that one's pretty sweet. And bear in mind, these have all come set default with the keyboard. I haven't had to install any software yet. P5. So this one is the wave, but it's activated upon hitting a key. And then that is it. The next one is just N key rollover, which if I go back to the red, you can see up in the corner here that this little logo, when I do the N key rollover, you can see actually there it is there, N key on, N key off, and there your Windows switch lights up there as well. You could just see it go on the side there. So that's pretty nifty to know when that comes on. And then you've got your macro over here. So I'll play around with that later on when I do the next video. So I'm assuming you just hold the macro key down and that'll probably start blinking and you can start doing your recording. We'll just have a look at the structure of the keyboard. I've always liked the Thermaltake ones because they're always a nice sturdy design. They don't really flex or anything, and they're just sort of bare, basic, and that's what I like. I think they look good and they aren't over the top. Now moving on to the back, we just seem to have one level of adjustment with the feet, and now it's nearly half of it is all rubber. Now I do like that. It's not going to be sliding out of the way, and we do have three options for routing the cables. That way, straight ahead or over here. So if you do like it to come out of the left or the right or the center, you can do that. And it's got plenty of other rubber if you're just running it at the lower setting like that. And moving on to the back, there doesn't seem to be anything at all. No USB. Personally myself, I've never used USB on a keyboard, so it doesn't really bother me. But some people say it's a must to have USB ports on it. But for me, I don't need any USB ports at all. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this unboxing. So I'm going to test this out for a few weeks. I really do like blue switches. They are my favorite. Now, some of you guys might be saying that, hey, it's not cherry. Now, I've pretty much got the same amount. I've probably got more non-cherry keyboards than cherry keyboards. And I use so many different keyboards on a day-to-day basis that honestly, I don't know which ones I'm using. They feel exactly the same. I never notice any difference at all. And between all the cherry keyboards and all the non-cherry keyboards I've never had a switch fail. So, and I've probably got about 30 to 40 mechanical keyboards, and I've never had a switch fail so far. So I'm really impressed with these other companies who are starting to rival Cherry, and they're coming at a much cheaper price, so you don't have to pay for that Cherry premium. So yeah, I'll test this a bit more. In a few weeks I'll come back and I'll cover the software and do some configuring on the actual keyboard itself. So I just want to thank TT eSports for sending this keyboard out to take a look at and do a review, and thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next time.